Hi, welcome to my Make and Create for Wednesday the 30th of July 2025. My name's Denise McCabe and I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator in Australia on the New South Wales Central Coast, so welcome. Now, normally I am live with my Make and Create card and Cuppas on a Wednesday, but I've had to work the whole week this week because the other lady at work is quite sick with a chest infection. So I'm it, so yep, back to full-time work. Hope it doesn't kill me. So that's why I've had to pre-record this video. So I hope if you're crafting along with me, you would have got, so if you placed an order with me last month, in the month of June, over $50, you would have got a little card kit in the mail. And that's the card we're going to make today. So if you're crafting along with me, I will try and not go too fast. It'll be a bit tricky because I'm not live, but I will try, and you can always rewind the video and go back if you can't keep up. I guess that's the best option. So thank God for pre-recordings, hey? So let's go down to the craft desk and we can get started. Okay, so I am pre-recording this like around about 6 o'clock at night, so I've got to have my lamps on, so I apologise for the glare. That's just the way it is. We are going to use the Kintsugi Inspirations Suite collection from the annual catalogue for our Make and Create card. So this is the Kintsugi Inspirations suite. It's got this beautiful stamp set and it's got some die pack that goes with it. It's got a really lovely embossing folder. It's got some beautiful flower accent embellishments, and it's got the beautiful specialty designer series paper. So it's really quite a lovely suite, and you can do so much with even just the paper. I just noticed I've got something stuck to my page here and I don't like it. There we go. So it's just a beautiful suite, and it's not a very expensive one. It's $136 if you get the whole suite. So it's not too expensive compared to some of the other suites in the catalogue, but it is really lovely. And the best thing about the paper, if you just want the paper alone, you get 2 sheets of all of the vases and the bowls and the flowers that you can fussy cut out. If you get the whole suite, the dies do actually cut those out on the paper, and I believe there's 14 vases, 14 bowls and 14 flowers on each piece of the 2 pieces of paper, and the rest is just beautiful paper anyway. So let's just put that to one side. And the other thing I want to talk about before we move forward is my August online class. It is using the Extraordinary Flora washi tape. Now I know that keeps coming in and out of stock, and I know that's a bit annoying, but with this class, it's an online class. We're going to make 5 cards, and I will supply all the die cuts for the cards. So it's going to be a bit tricky with the glare. And I've got them in plastic bags, so let's just have a look. So that's number 1. You'll get all the die cuts to make that card. You'll get all the washi tape die cuts for this card. This one we're just leaving. We're not die cutting it, just to show you what you can do with the washi tape. This is another one using an embossing folder on the background. You'll get those, and you'll have plenty of washi tape die cut flowers left over if you want to keep making cards. So it's these 5 cards, and it's $35, and that includes postage. So that class is Saturday the 23rd of August. So if you're interested in that online class, I go live on YouTube at 2 o'clock on the Saturday afternoon. If you're interested in doing that online class, you get all the products and the supplied, and you just make the cards with me during the YouTube live. You just need to book in, and probably by the week before, so I can mail out your card pack to you. So that's my online class for August, Saturday the 23rd of August, using the Extraordinary Flora washi tape. 5 cards for $35. You get everything supplied plus the envelopes. So if anyone's interested in that, please let me know and I will add you to my list so I can cut and prepare for you. Okay. So if you ordered from me during the month of June, as I said, you would have got a little supply pack in the mail. And I'm going to show you what we are going to make. So this is a really easy Z fold card. And that's my little instructions. And we've used the Inspiring Imperfections stamp set, the dies, and the paper, and the embossing folder. So your piece will have this panel already pre-embossed with the embossing folder from the Sweet collection. And you'll have all these other pieces. The only stamping we will be doing is the sentiment. So it's a very simple Z fold with just a panel on the front. And it makes a nice card. So let's have a look at what we've got. What have we got? Okay, I don't think I embossed my panel. So that's one thing we're going to do. So let's move that down to the bottom. Okay, move that over there. We've got our piece of cardstock and we've got the beautiful joined together embossing folder. It's really pretty folder. So if you're crafting along, you will have that embossing folder or that panel already embossed. So let me just show you how I did that. So this is half a piece of A4 cardstock cut in half at 10.5 centimeters, scored at 14.9 or 14.8, and then at 7.4 centimeters. So this piece will just fold back on top of itself. And that's just a very simple Z fold card. So let me grab my cut emboss machine. It's a 3D folder, so I'll need that one. Okay. There we go. So let me just show you how I put this panel into the embossing folder. Basically, I just put it in so that I didn't get this line. So just put it in, put your fold just up off the edge a little bit, like so, and then close it up. And then get rid of that. Pop it on your platform, keeping it held down so it doesn't move. Put your specialty plate on top. I'm just making sure I didn't move that, and I did. See, silly me. Let me just try that again. Okay. Hold it like so. There we go. And I just popped it down and wound it through. Okay, and I wound it back. Okay, there we go. And then you've got that panel that you want, the half panel, you've got it scored. So you're going to, what are you going to do? Do this. Is that right? No, hang on. There we go. So you're just going to see, and it's already embossed with the embossing folder. How nice. Now, I've gone on mine a little fraction over the other side, doesn't matter. But you've just got that little panel embossed with your embossing folder. So let me pop that away. Okay. So here we are back. So, and that is the embossing folder that comes with this suite, and it's called Joined Together 3D Embossing Folder. You can buy that separately. You don't have to buy the whole suite to get the embossing folder. You can buy it separately. So let's bring our card back in. So we've got our embossed panel here on the front. You will also have, the reason why I do this is to thank people for placing orders with me, and also it just it means I can just sort of use some of the product and just show you what it's like, and you might be interested in getting some of it down the track. So that's why I do this. So it's a thank you for placing an order with me from the month before, and it's just showing you some of the product and getting your hands on some of the products that we have. So this is my, I can't even remember how big okay, it's 11.5 centimeters by 8.5, and our piece of designer series paper is 11 centimeters by 8. So we're going to put those two together. Oh. And so it's been a bit of a surprise that I've got to work every day. And there's 5 consulting days this week, so yeah. I think I'm going to be a little bit tired by Friday night. But that's okay. I will suck it up, put my big girl panties on and do it. Okay, so that's our panel, which is going to go here. And I just really centered it so that there's sort of the same border on the left and right, same top and bottom. And I turned it over so I could put, because I put it up on dimensionals. So I'm just going to grab my dimensionals and get a few. And that's how I know where to, because I've got it upside down, I'm putting them just in shy so that they won't hang over. Okay, and so I had to cancel my Makeup Monday because normally I pre-record my Makeup Mondays, but now that I've been doing them live, I didn't get enough notice to pre-record it. So I had to can that one completely. But I will do that. What I had in mind, I'll do that next Monday. Okay, so just making sure I've got similar borders on either side and top and bottom, and I'm going to turn that over and just double check again before I actually press down. Oh, come on. See, I can't craft at night time. I'm always too tired. Okay, so that's just our panel already on, like so. Right, now in your little kit you will have a vase. From these ones are from the paper. These ones I actually heat embossed, and I was playing with those, so I had those to play with, to use as well, but I think I'll just use a paper one like I've given you. And the sheet that has all these vases, you've got a choice. You've got like the basic beige, the old olive, the petal pink, I think it's petal pink, yes, and the misty moonlight. I think they're the 4 colours that come in the 2 sheets. Now I'm going to use, I think, an old olive one. I'm going to put that there. Now what we are going to do is we're going to get our vase, and we're going to get a craft knife, and if you're using this one, be very, very careful because it's so sharp. And I'm just going to cut a little slit in the top of it, like so, and put the lid back on as quickly as possible. Okay, so that's just made a little split in our vase top. Okay, and then I'm going to, now these ones I haven't, you've got one cut from the paper, and the ones cut from the paper have the petal pink and Lost Lagoon leaves, and they're really pretty. I've got a couple that I had stamped. I was just sort of playing around, and if I don't use everything I play with, I just throw them back in a little bag. I'm going to use this one that's got the misty moonlight flower and old olive branch or stem, because I think that looks quite good. This one's heat embossed, and I'm not sure if I like that one very much. It probably is all right, but yeah, I'm going to go with this one. And that's going to look quite nice. So if you've cut your slot, just poke your flower into it and make sure it's not going to hang over your card when you position your vase onto your card. Just sort of make sure, tuck it right in, or hang it, or put it at an angle. like so. So I'm going to turn my vase and my flower over, and once again I'm going to grab my dimensionals because it goes up on dimensionals too. I'm going to put one over the stem of the flower, and I'm going to put one up here, and just put a couple on the vase itself, but not too far down because the bottom of the vase actually hangs over the panel that you've put on. So let's take the backs off those. So I try to keep our make and create cards relatively easy, because if you're a new crafter, then you don't want to have to be trying to do really hard stuff, and I don't want to scare you off. So this is going to go here onto this panel, and the bottom of the vase is going to hang over. So just make sure you don't put your vase down too low, because that dimensional will go there and we don't want it there. So just the little bottom part of the vase is what's going to hang over, and the rest is going to go on the card. And if you've angled your flower, it won't hang over at the top. See, it's within range, and so is the base. And this one, it's within range, within the card range, and so is the base. So that's that. Now you will have a little 1 centimeter strip of paper, and this was just what I do. If I've got really little tiny strips, and quite often I do have strips of designer series paper, I decorate the card inside. Now, because this card visually, I didn't really want to put it coming across the bottom, so I gave you a little piece that just is 10.5 centimeters that will go down the right hand side of your card, like so. If you don't want to put this on, you don't have to, but I quite like it. This one I've gave myself doesn't have a lot of color on it, but I don't mind. If you prefer to do the other side, because it might match up with some of your paper, you can. I'm going to do this side. I'm going to put the blue piece at the top, and let's just do this. So I want the blue piece up the top, and it just trims up that edge of your card so that you've got it sort of all ties together with your paper panel here. There we go. And when you open your card, your edge of your card's got a little bit of trim. I think that looks really nice. I like that. Okay, so put the glue back on that. Now you will have the little, where are we? The little banner die. I've given you one of those. Now you can just you can just stamp whatever you want onto that. I've used the Celebrate from Beautiful Motifs, and I think I might grab that and use that again. It's just a really lovely stamp set. This one, the hello would work. The thank you for everything would work on this banner. The thinking of you would work as well. But I really like to Celebrate because it doesn't necessarily have to mean birthday. It could mean celebrating anything. Retirement, anything. So I am going to just stick that onto a block and grab my Misty Moonlight. I don't know if you can hear it, but I can hear it within myself. My throat, my voice is already croaky from talking today. And oh my goodness, I'm not even halfway through the week. I probably won't have a voice box left at the end of the week, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp that down. I've inked my stamp with Misty Moonlight. Stamp it down. Come on, there we go. And that's Celebrate. I do love that stamp set. Okay, I'll move that to over there. I'm going to bring in my card. This is my sample card that we're looking at. And I've put my banner up on dimensionals. So, very minimal stamping in this card because I can't send out stamped images. So I try to choose papers and sweets that I can die cut things and send them out to you like that. So this one is going to go right here, like so. And then in your pack you will also have 3 of these flower accents. Now these are just beautiful, and I think these are going to be a real winner for Christmas crafting because of the gold. I think it's just going to be a showcase to have that. Now because I've got quite a few white panels on my card on this piece, whereas this one had varying colours everywhere, there's quite a lot of white on my card. Where shall I put it? I might put one there and maybe one there. I like doing 2 together at the moment. It's just a thing I'm doing. And then I'll put one down here on my banner. There we go. And that's your card. How easy was that? So that is your card for Make and Create this week or this month. But yeah, these are all cut from the beautiful paper. These ones I have stamped and heat embossed and coloured. But you've got lots of things you can do. I do have a class using this suite coming up at the end of August. Here it is. So this is an in-person class. And this is Saturday the 30th of August. We're going to stamp and colour a little bit. We're using the embossing folder. We're using the paper. We're using the embellishments. This is another one. We're stamping and blending a bit of Misty Moonlight over it. So, and I used markers on the flower to stamp the flower. And this one's another one. These are the bowls that are in this stamp set. And you get these dies, and if you've got foil with the adhesive sheets on the back, you can make the cracks that are being filled together with gold. And that's some cloud cover two-tone cardstock that we've sanded back. And this is another one. So if you really like this suite and you don't live too far away and you'd like to come to the Kintsugi Inspirations class, this one will be Saturday the 30th of August. And it's $25 and you'll get everything supplied for that class. So that is our card for today. A really easy Z fold card, trimmed up with a little bit of paper on the inside. You could go ahead and stamp another sentiment inside. I always would do that. If I did that, I would make sure it's within the boundaries of this panel so it's not sort of hanging out below or above. But that's just me. That's what I would do. So I hope you enjoyed that. Let's go back to here. Okay, so I hope you liked our really easy Z fold card for this month. And I hope it's come together well for you and you really like it. And you enjoyed playing with some of the beautiful products from the Kintsugi Inspirations suite. It's a lovely suite. So thank you so much for watching. And once again, I apologise for not being live. But yeah, work called. And I answered. So have a great rest of the week. And I will see you next Monday for what will I see you for? Make It Monday. That's what I'll see you next Monday for Make It Monday. Thank you, ladies. Please like and share my channel as I try and grow it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.